Good morning, and welcome to day 58 of 90 Days of Meditation. I don't know why I say that every day, but I do. So I always think that perhaps because I put the invitation on Google Plus, and perhaps there's somebody from the outside that listens in. So that's the reason why I do. I'm going to read a little bit on deep listening and loving speech, written by Thich Nhat Hanh. And this is what they call the fourth precept. So if I can. Aware of the suffering caused by unmindful speech and the inability to listen to others, I vow to cultivate loving speech and deep listening in order to bring joy and happiness to others and to relieve others of their suffering. Knowing that words can create happiness or suffering, I vow to speak truthfully with words that inspire self-confidence, joy, and hope. I am determined not to spread news that I do not know to be certain, and not to criticize or condemn things of which I am not sure. I will refrain from uttering words that can cause division or discord, or that can cause the family or the community to break. I will make efforts to reconcile and resolve all conflicts, however small. So a little bit further down, Thich Nhat Hanh makes reference to, in Buddhism, what's known as the Bodhisattva of compassion. And the Bodhisattva is a awakening being that makes a decision to forego its own awakening in order to relieve the suffering of others, until each person has awakened and is free of suffering. So there's one known as Avalokiteshvara who hears the sufferings of the world, and it's said that Avalokiteshvara has, these are just metaphorical figures. So has an eye on every finger, has 1,000 arms emanating from his or her body, depending on which culture you're in. And on each of those 1,000 arms, there are hands, and on the tip of each hand, there's a finger with an eye. So he sees the suffering, hears the cries, and responds with skillful action. So the universal door, so he speaks, Avalokiteshvara is a person who has learned the art of listening and speaking deeply in order to help people let go of their fear, misery, and despair. He's the model of this practice, and the door he opens is called the universal door. If we practice listening and speaking according to Avalokiteshvara, we too will be able to open the universal door and bring joy, peace, and happiness to many people and alleviate their suffering. And here's the quote. The universal door manifests itself in the voice of the rolling tide. Hearing and practicing it, we become a child, born from the heart of a lotus, fresh, pure, and happy, capable of speaking and listening in accord with the universal door. With only one drop of water of compassion from the branch of the willow, spring returns to the great earth. I'm going to, we'll have to read that a little bit more. I had actually was looking for something else this morning, but that was saved on my phone from a previous um, thing that I was doing some time back, and I had bookmarked it. And I need to read into it a little bit more deeply because deep listening is something that I myself struggle with. I really do. I have a tendency to form opinions, to get impatient, to correct. I feel like I want to correct somebody, especially if they're not talking about what I want them to talk about. If I feel like they haven't heard me, uh, I can be. If they haven't responded, let's say that, that's better. If they haven't responded in a way that I would like them to respond, I can get, I don't know a good word for it, but I don't like it, right? I can't just be with the fact that they have come from their own perspective. I want them to hear mine. So I really am grateful that I have this opportunity to practice with this focus this week, with great gentleness, without judgment, with great acceptance. Because an incident happened last night, and I would like, it was small, but my ego doesn't like it. It wants to replay it, right? So I've given that incident over to a higher intention of uh, care and humanity and acceptance of ourselves with all our supposed faults or flaws, or just the parts of us that are perhaps not yet skillful. They're still down below the surface, moving upwards towards the light. They too need love. I too need love. We all need it. Mm. So let's sit quietly for about 10 minutes this morning and just ask yourself what it is that brought you here this morning or this afternoon or this evening, where whatever time you find yourself sitting in meditation, allowing that lotus, that radiant light, to give it an opportunity to shine, to let our sense of being in wholeness drop the idea that things need to be perfect, but also look towards an aspiration of creating greater harmony within and without by practicing the art of deep listening and loving speech. So let yourself take a comfortable seated position. We practice coming home, learning how to transform, collect, and integrate all the parts of ourselves. Learning how to dwell, how to live from a place of wisdom and love. Not driven around by our conditioned fears and unmet needs. Drawing deeply from the wellspring of love that is our birthright. Bodhi, come here. Come here. Come. Sit down. Come here. Come. Come. Come lay down. Come. Lay down. Come on. Lay down. Lay down. Lay down. Kind of hard to move with a dog. Lay down. Lay down. Lay down. Lay down. Come on. Lay down. Lay down. Lay down. So this concludes our meditation practice this morning. And I do hope that you all have a wonderful day. And the light is starting to come. I hope you have a wonderful day and a wonderful week, and happy Thanksgiving week. I know it's going to be a busy week for many people, and it can be a difficult week emotionally for those that have lost people around this time, and there's all kinds of emotions that float up. So be kind and gentle. Do the practices that truly nourish your being, and let go of any expectations of getting it right. I think I'll do the same. All right. Love y'all. Bye. Stop the podcast. Oop.